Have you ever wondered how you can bring an image to life? Imagine having an image of, let us say, a villager or so, maybe characters on that image, and then with a device, looking through that device, you can see those characters moving. An image almost like comes to life, and like almost like magic. How you can see a moving image hanging on the wall, or maybe you see an image of a portrait, and then once you look through a device, that image brings as you or start to talk or start to move, like those things you see in movies. Now, in this particular video, I'm going to try my best to show you how that can be done. To accomplish that, we're going to use technology. We're going to use something called augmented reality. For most of you that is not familiar with it, augmented reality means to add content or virtual content into your reality, to your physical space. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's a very simple process, and I've managed to put it together in a course because it's not that expensive. It's not something that will break your bank. It's very simple, very affordable and very simple. So I'm going to show you because this video is a part of a bigger course, a bigger tutorial that showcases all these things for you. So I'm going to go ahead to my system now, and then I will show you how to get it. If you stay put, I will also play a part of the course for you, a particular section of the course that will show you a snippet into how this can be done, and then the kind of results that you should be expecting. So just stay to the very end and watch it. At least by the time you're done with it, you yourself will be able to bring images to life. You can do whatever you want to do with it. You can take a still photo and then give it life and make it to move by adding video over it, so that it can appear as if the image is moving. So let's move on to our system now. So here we have, so this is the course right now. So we already have about 1,000 students here. So it's called Build Image Tracking Augmented Reality App in Unity and C#. So here we're going to show you how we can build something called image tracking AR, and then we can overlay images to it. Now this is a QR code, so you can scan this to go and check more about the course. But after here, I will transition into a section of the course and then the result in which you expected. So if you're interested in something like this, or building something that allows you to bring images to life or add some interesting virtual content around an image, this course is for you. So if you're an artist or someone that you want to make your buyers or your fans or whatever it is to be excited about your artwork, you can apply augmented reality to your work, and you can make it you can give it life or give it some excitement. So I'll see you at the other side, and then I'll also come back later on to end the course, end this video. Thank you very much. See you at the other side. We have entered the next phase of this course. Here we are going to create the controller and then the script that will allow us to have more control over our image tracking. So to get that done, I like to create a new game object, an empty game object. I'll call it AR controller. We'll save it. Next, to keep things organized, we'll create a folder called script. So inside the scripts, we'll have our new script called use a mono behavior script. We'll call the script AR control. Okay, so we'll call it AR control. So enter. Give it a bit of time to compile because you can't do anything with the script unless this has compiled. So we'll give it some minutes. So we should have a script compiled. Then we will attach this particular AR control into the hierarchy of to the inspector of our AR controller game object. We'll save it. So next is to open up the script. So I'm using JetBrains Rider for this. Some other persons will use Visual Studio Code. Some other person will use Visual Studio Community, Visual Studio itself, like this, which is this one. So depending on the one you want to use, I prefer this because I just like the user experience. Although the problem with this is that it takes time to load, but once it loads, it's one of the best you can ever use out there. So we give it a bit of time, and our script's IDE will be ready. I think it's loaded. Let's just go back and try to open it again. So yes, so this is our script. It's empty, there's nothing much within it. So I think before we continue, let's do something else instead. Before we start writing the script, let's do something else. Let's do something else in this video. Then the next video will focus on the script. What we're trying to do next is that we want to create this prefab. Okay, I want to create this prefab because it's our script will call some things within it that is important. So I don't want to write a script that you're wondering where it is coming from. So let's create a prefab that will save us a lot of explanation in future. So we'll create a folder and call it prefabs. So now this prefabs are just scheme object that has been prefab. Is it supposed like that has been saved or stored for later use in different sense? So most of this scheme object they live within this thing, but prefab, once you have it within your project section, you can use it in multiple scenes. So this prefab is what we're going to render on top of our images once we trigger it or once we start tracking it. Now remember from our library that our image is has 0.1 meters on the x-axis and 0.046 on the y-axis. Now we're going to create a kind of like a holder, right, that fits that particular frame. In image tracking, one of the secrets to get it right, to get it look as natural as possible, is to make sure that you create like a holder, in an invisible holder that fits a kind of virtual holder that fits that particular frame of the image. And once you're able to get that fit, then you can add whatever you want to add on top of that image, and you can add 3D models, you can design the surface of that image the way you want, you can do all kinds of things. So our very first step is to create that holder, and one of the best things we use to do that is to use a cube. So we go to 3D mod object and we'll choose a cube. The cube is perfect because all its 6 sides are well defined. So we will go to the scaling section, and then here at this point we'll have to make the y-axis extremely thin. We'll be operating with the x-axis and the z-axis. That's what we'll operate with. For this y-axis, you can make it as thin as possible. So you can see it becomes very flat. Let me take away this. So let's remove this from blocking out of here. So it becomes very flat like this on the floor. So you save it. So now on the x-axis, you can simply come here and copy this dimension, put it over here. So it has taken the shape. And on the z-axis, you can take the values from this y meters and then put it over here. So now we have something that looks like our image already, because the shape is very similar. So this is good. Now, so after doing this, the next step is to make this transparent. You don't need to see this. This is not what you're looking for. So I'll create a new folder. I'll call the folder materials so that you can store our materials. So I'll come here, go to create again, then I'll look for materials. This is materials. So I'll click on this. We create this material for us. I want to call this material transparent matte. Then once I do that, I'll change the render pipeline to on lit. I don't want light to affect it. I want it to just be as constant as possible. So I will choose transparent here. Come on. So I'll go to universal render pipeline. Universal render pipeline. Now we choose on lit. So now it is completely black. The next is surface start changing from opaque to transparent, and then we can bring down this to 0. So if we attach this material to the cube, it should become materials. If I attach it to the cube, it should become invisible. So it's invisible. But we don't want to work with this. Let's duplicate this first. And let's cut this opaque so that we can have something to work with. Then we will something to work with. Then from there we'll then let me just rename this place. Okay, so let's just put this here for now. Change this to alpha value. Now we have our cube that has the same dimensions of our image. We'll call this image dimension. Let's just call it image dimension cube. So that's the name we call it. Save it. Now, after having this, the next phase is to create an empty object inside of it. I will create an empty object called content. Now this is an empty object. It does not have anything. It has a scale of 1, 1, 1. So it helps to keep whatever we add within our prefab to have a normal scale or dimension. Because if we deal with this, we'll end up having images that are stretched and or content that are stretched beyond recognition. So this content helps us to keep things in proper dimension, and also help us to rotate upside down. So you may build a image tracking solution, and one of the issues you find that is that the content is flipped vertically or so it's upside down, so that might be a big issue for you. So you can just simply come here and change this y-axis to 180, change it to 180 so that you can flip it for you. So we're going to do that because I've noticed that whenever we build with that in this, our content is not usually placed properly. So once we have this, then we can go on to add whatever we want to add. Now in our situation, we want to play a video. Okay, so simply click on content and then we go down to video, and then we'll add our video player. So the video player is within the 6 dimension. Delete. So all we need to add next is a quad. Yes, so that you can help us with our video player. So you are not adding it, it's not a UI, this is a 3D model, so that's why it's so strange. So with a 3D model and add a quad. A quad is one face, it has just one single face. Let's do this first. So outside of this, let's add a quad so we can know what we're doing. So we'll add a quad. So this is the quad, it has one face. So this is a single face it has. Now since it has one face, we'll have to make it to face our 3D model, like the same position as this, because right now it's standing vertically. So we have to flip it on the x-axis. I think it's 90 degrees. No, not the quad itself. 90 degrees, so it's flat on the floor. Next is that we want to scale it so that it can have the same shape as our dimension. So our dimensions are 0.1 on the x-axis. So we'll take this 0.1 on the x-axis, and then 0.05 on the z-axis. Let's see if that also makes it look the same way. Because not so. Z-axis is the one that has no face, so we just have to leave it the way it is. We want to do that on the y-axis. So once you do that, our code is matching the quad is matching our image dimension cube. So we can get that by, let's try to do something. Let's create another materials for the quad. So the material here, we'll call it lit mats. So we'll do the same by going to our universal render pipeline, choosing on lit, leaving it as opaque. We'll just make it red so that you can see what we're doing here. So let's bring it up just so you can see it. So we just assign this lit material to this, so you can see it's red. So it's the same shape as our image dimension. Good. So let's just arrange everything back, make this white as we want. Next is to make this image dimension transparent. So simply save the transparent to it. Next, let's make sure that it is on 0, 0 so that it can match. Next is let's rename this to video quad because we want to add videos to it. So we'll call it video quad. Next is to drag it into this content section, and it fits in perfectly without any changes whatsoever. Now our video quad is in. You can save as in. Next step is to add the video player. So we'll add video player. So with the video player in, we will simply drag our media, which is our video, into the video clip that is set. You can decide to play it on Wake. You can decide to add buttons to it. So let's make it let's play it on Awake, because I don't want to add more complexity to this. You can always work around this. I think let's loop it. So it plays constantly. So now this is what we have. So remember, the render mode should be the material of the attached game object, which is the code. So that's why it's this. You can change it to a camera plane, you can change it to render texture, whatever, but this is okay for us. So save this. If you play this now, the video should play on the content. Let's take this, let's drag it up because you can see it, so you can see the video playing. So this is the video. The scene was blocking it. So this is the video playing. So now we know that our video is playing. Next now is to attach it as a prefab. So we'll do that in the next session. We'll write our code to take that game object and render it in front of our target image. So we have everything working now. The next phase is for start writing our code. So before we go, we have to make this a prefab, because that's the most important part. So this is a prefab folder. You simply drag this from here into the prefab folder, and just like that, it's a prefab. You can delete it from here, which is the right thing to do, but for now I'll simply just disable it. Then we'll save our scene. So in the next video, we'll write our code which will attach to the XR, to the AR controller. We'll fill up this particular script with the necessary code that it needs. Hello, so welcome to the next video. I'm currently on my device. So this is our app here, this particular one here. So the tracked image. So click on it. Now it opens, and you can see the camera is on. The idea is that so let's see. So that's it now. You can see the video playing on the image. So we can move it around. You can see it's trying to track it, so you can move it around. You can see that it's moving. So I can take it back, maybe up again, and stay again. So we can minimize. So back again. So I hope you have seen how a kind of a snippet into how this stuff have been built, and also the results you're going to expect from it. If you're interested in something like this and you want to learn more, please, you can scan the QR code in the early part of this video, which I can show you again here. So this is the QR code. So you can scan the QR code now, and then you can go to the course. And if you can't scan it, I also provide link to the course in the description, so that will also help you. So if you're an artist, you're a student, you want to impress someone, you want to maybe create a kind of like a gift card for somebody, and then you add some nice videos on top of it or whatever it might be, this particular course is going to help you to accomplish that. So I hope to see you at the other side in the full course, where I'll show you step by step exactly how you can, all the tools you need, and how you can take all your materials like your image and your videos and everything and be able to create this particular course. Please subscribe if you want to get more content like this. You can follow this page, you can subscribe to it, and you can also go through the comments, the descriptions, to see more resources that you might be interested in. Thank you very much, and see you at the other side.